It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it is an honor to have Judge Lauren Lake here with me.
And it's an honor to be here with you.
Now, I first met you with Weene.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
so let's talk about what Weene is, because that was an organization that you're one of the co-founders of.
Yes, Women in Entertainment Empowerment Network. Myself, along with Felicia Butterfield-Jones, Christy Henderson, and Sabrina Thompson, started it way back in 2007.
Sheesh.
We wanted to empower young women. You was there with us. I don't know why you said that. You was there every step of the way.
I was like, woo, y'all did it, because I remember when you guys started it. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, and you're one of our former Weene Award honorees. We started it to empower young women who wanted to have careers in the entertainment industry. And we wanted to allow them to see the vast nature of the industry, right? That it's not just with a microphone. It's not just behind the camera. There are so many other opportunities to be involved. And you were a professor many years, one of our honorees. And we appreciate you for always riding for us and for the young women we served.
I missed that program. And
so
it
do
was
I.
Amazing. And I will tell you this, like, a lot of the young women that went to Weene are still, like, to this day, I meet them all the time.
They're killing it.
Yes.
Killing it out here. Gia Peppers, Shinika Taylor, Sierra Brooks. I mean, so many
of them.
They're everywhere. And we miss it too. But you know, life happens. You get older, you get kids, you get families. We had to figure out, and we're thinking about how do we do it in this new landscape, right? Things have changed since the way we did it in New York, running through the New York streets.
And it was hard to get into. I actually helped with the auditions too.
You did. You were always a judge.
I
Used to be
love
like 500 girls lined up around Harlem waiting to get in to audition, and we'd only pick about 25. So yeah, a huge impact. And we thank you for everything you did.
Well, listen, we thank you guys for actually even doing that. You have such an amazing background to me, because you are so multifaceted.
Yes.
And I think that's important too, because people have to realize none of us have to be just one thing, right? And so as an attorney, we've seen you on, you have your own paternity court show.
Yes, I have. I had paternity court, and now I have We the People judge show. Yep, court show.
Yes.
And yes.
It started off as paternity court, but then it was Lauren Lake's.
You're right. Now see, that's a fun fact you knew. Season 1, it started off as paternity court. And then I was very grateful. MGM realized that what I had done with the show, I'd really made it my own. And then they ended up renaming it Lauren Lake's Paternity Court. And we did that show for 7 seasons. And we're blessed to win the Emmy.
Now, you know I love a good judge show.
Yes.
But what I like about you in particular is that it seemed like you really did want to help people. And paternity matters.
It does. It does, which is my new show on YouTube. I always say court is adjourned, but the conversation can continue. And I do care. Because people would always say to me, and I'm going to be honest, people would say to me, well, why you want to do a show? You done all these shows, The View, Dr. Phil, this, that, and the third. Why you want to do a show about paternity? Because those are my people.
Right.
I'm from Detroit. I'm representing today, putting it on for my city, but I'm from Detroit. We are real people, real issues. And I'm going to tell you what, paternity issues now, we know, cross racial bounds, socioeconomic bounds, everything. You see paternity going on through and through, no matter rich to the working American. There are paternity issues floating around. We are all 1 degree away from a paternity saga, whether we know it or not.
And the truth to the matter is that there's no like one size fits all situation, because I've seen on your show where there might be, I saw an episode that I actually had the privilege to watch ahead of time, but there was one young man on there that his father didn't want to claim him.
Yes. Now on Paternity Matters.
Yeah, on Paternity Matters. Yes.
On Paternity Matters, my new YouTube series I started. I did it because people were demanding, like, we still want you to do paternity. Yes, we have a young man with a 41-year paternity secret. 41 years he's lived with this. And he knows the man they say is his biological father. However, his mother admits and has told him he believes there's 4 other possible fathers.
Sheesh.
And he's lived with this for 41 years. And so that particular young man, Richard, we're going to be getting the answers for him. The results show will be airing soon.
I cannot wait to
find
out. Because actually my heart goes out to him, because imagine growing up and not knowing. And
he so beautifully describes, and I think it might be episode 2 or 3, how it felt, the rage that was in him, the way he acted out, having to go into foster care, right? Because his mom struggled with addiction, and wondering, like, wherever this father is, why isn't he coming to get me? No matter who it is. Like, why aren't they looking for me? The pain of that he's lived with. And when you think about 41 years, that's 4 decades.
Yes.
To have that question hanging over your head. And I'm so blessed. He wrote to me. He wrote to me, and he was actually a person that sent me an email, and we were able to help him.
And you never know how that affects other facets of your life, too.
Every facet,
yes.
every facet. So I'm blessed on that show to have a team that really believes in helping people, meeting them where they are. Now, at paternity court, I had to stay in the courtroom. On Paternity Matters, I'll go to your house.
Yes.
Okay, we at the lab with you. Okay, we're doing all the things. So I'm very blessed to have Sabrina Thompson of Weene, and then also Aaliyah Taylor as executive producers. Aaliyah worked with me on Paternity Court. So we've come together and created a show where we're able to meet people exactly where they are and get them the answers they deserve.
And this is such a big deal. Another thing that you talk about is sometimes kids will feel like, why didn't you fight to see me? Because when the parents aren't able to co-parent properly, and then the father, or sometimes it could be the mom, misses out on some quality time with their child, the child doesn't know what's going on behind the scenes.
The child has no idea. And we talk about this as well on the show. We talk to fathers who really go through the process of co-parenting chaos and what that means. And look, that doesn't mean that the onus is always on the mothers, but this is a show where we really examine and recognize great fathers and also the journey of fathers. And co-parenting gets really tricky. A lot of times fathers are absent because they don't really understand the law. They'll think, well, if I'm a little bit behind on my child support, I can't go. No. That's not the law. You can be behind on your child support. That doesn't affect your visitation. Now, you better get something caught up or something, because you could go to jail, lose your driver's license and your passport. But that doesn't mean you can't see your child.
Right.
And too often we have children who don't understand all of this co-parenting chaos that's going on. And I always say, you got to love your child more than you hate your ex. You've got to love that child more than you hate your ex or hate something about them. So you put them first, and they're not in this constant tug of war, because it affects every facet of their life.
I wish you were here the other day. I thought about you when Dwight Howard was up here, and he was talking about child support, and he was saying he doesn't think child support is fair, and he was going on about it and how for some women it's a come up. So I want to get your thoughts.
I follow you, and I watched that interview. It was a great interview.
I was like, where's Laura?
Yeah. I watched. I was like, let me ride up there. But no, I think what we have to do as a society is understand that you're right. Child support has always been skewed in favor of the mother, and now, which is usually the custodial parent, through the past. The mother usually is the person that has the child. The father is the one that goes out and work. Now, things are changing.
You see Halle Berry.
Yep. You took it right out of my mouth. And there are many other high-profile women who are paying child support for children, and people don't really talk about that. This is real, but I do think the laws and the way we skew child support can be unfair. But at the same time, raising a child is expensive, so that means we need care and support for the child. But sometimes the way child support orders are laid out, it tends to be unfair. We have a lot of parents, I do believe, that are overpaying, right? In relation to what the child's needs would be, or what the income of the other co-parent is. And that is also a matter of working through the court system. If you can, petitioning. Sometimes you might petition for a reduction, and that has happened. I think that was it was a case a while ago. I'm trying to call up who it was. I can't call it right now, but there was a case where a man did go in. I think it was a professional athlete that was like, no, I pay for every single item of the kids that they need. Everything is done, insurance, schooling, and I believe the child support was lowered in that instance. So it has happened.
It happened for Halle Berry, too, for her daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, she went back, I think, last year and got it lowered.
Yes.
Also.
Sometimes you're able to do that.
Is there a way to make child support fair? Because I know every case is so different.
See, that's the problem.
And that's the problem, right? Because there's no one size fits all when it comes to child support. Because then on the flip side, there's so many fathers who barely pay anything, and it's not really taking care of half the expenses.
Then you have that. There's a lot of fathers, and like I said, be clear, there's also mothers as well, but there are a lot of children who are not being cared for, right? Where the child support is not coming in. And then you have situations where the parent may be overpaying when you look at the case, and every single case is different. The issue is the court does not have the bandwidth to come into the home, right? And say, oh, so that mother went and got braces for herself instead of braces for the child with that money. They don't have time to do that. And then I also think sometimes moms get a bad rap because it is expensive. And I'm a mother. There are so many intangible expenses that you don't think about.
Right.
Whether it's the utilities or the travel expenses getting them somewhere or things that are built in that you don't know that
Even
go above and
childcare,
beyond.
if you have to go to work or you have things to do and I'm like, I need somebody to watch my kid, that's not free either.
Yes. And I'm a firm believer in men really fighting for and petitioning for joint legal and physical custody. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that will cut out the child support, but in some instances, there is an opportunity for it to be lowered if it can be proven that the child's needs would still be met. And I think it's important for fathers not to just have the onus of paying money,
right,
but also paying attention,
right,
because that's what the child needs. The $1,000 can come through every month, and thank God the lights are still on. But if you ain't seen the baby in 12, months, the child is thinking, so I'm not more important than sending this money. They'd rather go get an ice cream cone in the park. And see, mothers got to understand that too.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do in a situation where the mom is like, I'm not letting the father see this kid because I don't get along with him and I'm just going to keep that? Because would you tell a dad, okay, well, you're going to have to go to court?
You do. And you have to not be afraid of the law and be empowered by the law. I can't tell you how many clients I had when I was a practicing family attorney. Young men where I go, listen, you got to fight this. And they were like, what would I got to do? Go to court? And I go, yeah. Nah, I ain't going up in court. Because look, and especially as black folks, don't nobody want to go to court. They be thinking, as soon as I walk up in here on this family case, some old ticket gonna come up. Some old, some old misdemeanor that, I haven't, we have a fear of the law. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about doing court shows like We the People, Paternity Court, and Paternity Matters, is to empower people with the law, to kind of give them those legal lessons to say, listen, if you caught up and you out there anyway, you strung up anyway, you might as well go get you a lawyer or find you a father's rights group, right? There's a lot of activism out there.
Yes.
And figure out how you can empower yourself with the law and help you get reconnected with your children.
Listen, I want to talk about even just more than that. Like you said, you're from Detroit.
Yes.
Right? And you've also done some HGTV.
I have.
Which I love. Listen, and real estate as well.
Yes, you had, and you got some in the D.
Yes, I
read that.
I have a building in Midtown, 30-unit building.
I love it.
That's why I was also super excited for you to come up here.
Thank you,
and discuss your passion for that too, right? Interior design, also real estate.
I always tell people I'm passionate about home life, whether it is the tile on the walls, refurbishing an old home, getting families in a home, or helping people establish the home they've always wanted that includes mother and father and child. I did host a show on HGTV for 6 seasons called Spice Up My Kitchen.
That's right.
Many years ago.
The kitchen, they say, is the most important part of the house.
The heart
and it's
of
the
one
home that also adds the most value.
Adds the most value and will sell a home. Get a good kitchen in your house, it will sell. People say, I'll redo that bathroom. But if that kitchen is done,
yes,
you
absolutely.
Know it's more than
okay,
likely
the
to go.
Appliances, the colors, everything.
Always.
And there's always these different trends that are going on that you're like, okay, I like this, but maybe it's not practical. And then you can get sick of something if it's too bold.
You don't want to overdo it. Now, on the show, I used to do a lot of bold colors because, look, it's TV. Every wall can't be beige.
And you can change it.
And you can.
That's an easy thing to change.
Something you can change. But yes, some of the new things, like I think back when I was doing that show, the big thing is when they started putting the office space, the little desk nook in the kitchen. That was big then. I think we did that in like every kitchen because it brought the kids in doing homework. It gave mom or dad a place to pay bills. And again, we could get that whole family in there, knocking out that wall, creating that living space on the other side of an eat-in large island. Like that was the thing back then. And it has stayed because it brings the family together in the space.
Where did all this come from with you? Like all of this entrepreneurship, all of this philanthropy and everything that you do, because it feels like everything you do is centered around helping other people.
It is.
So how were you raised and where did all these values come from?
Thank you. I grew up in Detroit. Both of my parents were educators. They were college professors, and they were big on helping people live their dreams. I dedicated Paternity Matters, the YouTube series, to my father, who I just lost about 4 months ago, because his his entire mission in life was helping people elevate to the next level, inspiring them and encouraging them to level up in their lives and in their dreams because of the dreams he had as a child that he was able to realize through education. My mother, the same, passionate about education, helping people understand that educating yourself and understanding the path that you want to go is so important. My mother used to always say, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. Right. And my daddy would say, don't pretend to be who you don't intend to be. And in both of those aspects, it means go. Move in, right? Go into your destiny. And I have just always had that same passion. And like you said, whether it's home or me living this multifaceted life, I really don't want to be in a box. And I think people get themselves into boxes and don't know how to get out.
Right.
You know, you grow up as a little kid saying, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a this, I want to be an NFL quarterback. And then all of a sudden life begins to bring you in, right? And now what you going to choose? Who you going to be? If you think you can be more than one thing, you a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. I'm like, no, what if you want to be a jack or a Jill of every trade you choose to master? You are multifaceted. Look what you are able to do.
That's why a lot of things that you do, I look at what you do and I'm like, that's really the roadmap of what it is. You know, I'm actually taking my real estate test, my license in 2 weeks, so I'm excited for that.
Oh my God,
so
good luck in advance.
That I can pass on the first try.
You will.
Because I've been definitely studying hard.
You have to. It's not an easy
I took the practice exam. I passed that, so I'm, you know.
That's awesome.
But I look at things like what you've been doing, and I'm like, this is what we need. And also, like I said, I think the philanthropy part of it is so important. Just things that you've done in that space, because part of how I feel is the more that I learn and the more that I'm able to do financially and empower other people, that's part of why you want to make money and part of why you want to educate yourself so that you can spread that knowledge.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of pitfalls that people can fall into.
And we've gone into this kind of microwave society where people think that it all happens overnight.
Yes.
You know, everything, life is so filtered for everyone now. That was what Weene was about, was taking that mystique off of, oh, I'm about to be a star in the entertainment business. Like, no, you about to work
not that easy.
in the entertainment business, right? And I think we still need more of that. And I love what you're able to do through this platform and through your real estate and everything that you're doing is show the multifaceted possibilities for life. The limitless possibilities for your life, but the work that you're putting in, right? Faith without works is dead. We got to do something.
That's why I was telling my boy Charles, who linked us back up again.
Yes, shout out to Charles.
I might need, for Lauren to like call in sometimes for some advice.
Anytime.
Because there's a lot going on. Like, for instance, with everybody taking these DNA tests,
right?
These 23andMe and African ancestry, and then finding out, I know some people who have found out that their whole life, I thought this person was my father.
Yes. It is a lie.
And it is not my dad.
It is not my dad.
And so, like, currently I know somebody who hasn't told her mom the situation yet, and she doesn't know how to approach it.
And she has to.
With her.
And I think that's one thing that I am so passionate about. We have got to make things that used to be taboo, teachable. Paternity and DNA used to be things you took to the grave. If you put that in the vault was locked, we go to grave with that. That's your daddy, live with it, we on to the next thing. That's not the case now. Between social media, people running their mouth all day, and all these DNA tests you can buy and order, right? They're like, hold on one second, it's 2 names over here. Like, this ain't the name on my birth certificate. We have got to be able to have difficult conversations. And so on Paternity Matters, that's why I kind of love that I get to take off the robe and sit on a couch, and I get to go in the parking lot at the lab, and I get to go to the cafe, wherever you are that you need to talk about it, where you can get your folks together on the fly, we gonna go. Because it is important that we do it and show support to those who need to do it. At the end of the day, living your life with a secret hanging over your head, that thwarts your very existence, your consciousness, your spirituality. Living with, am I not? No one deserves that. And so we have to use these tools to empower us. And I think she has to find the courage to have the conversation, maybe find another family member she trusts, or a friend of her mother's, and say, Mom, I really need to have a really difficult conversation with you.
And, the other part of it is this, finding out that you have this whole other family too.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even know. She did talk to her father, but then he ended up passing. And now, there's a situation with, does she deserve to get any of
Inheritance issues.
Yes.
We used to cover that on Paternity Court, and we
That's
have some
why
of that
that's
on
so
Paternity
important.
Matters. Yes. What does the will say to all of my children? Does it name them? There are going to be issues arising because of this, because of all of these secrets that are coming to the light. And we need to, I think, begin to understand that the longer we try to hold it off, the worse it gets. And I'll say this. It has been very rare that I've had a secret come out where even, because, we called it paternity court, but I used to say on any given day, it could be called maternity court because oftentimes the women were the keepers of the secret, right? And so when that secret came out, there was the relief. There was often like, I'm so glad I don't have to hold that anymore. It's a freedom in it. You'll see that when we get to the results for Richard's mother, a freedom in just, you know what? At some point, you got to step up to the plate and say, ain't no shame in my game. I did it. We're all human.
Right.
We've all been there. I used to say that in paternity court when everybody be whispering, when they say, oh, it could be 3 possible fathers. I might stop and just be like, y'all know. So. Y'all done slept with more than one man this month.
You had a little, I saw there was one where she slept with her boyfriend's best friend.
Yep.
Woo, that was viral.
And that was viral, and it happens. Yeah. And don't lie and act like it ain't happening here. You just didn't get pregnant, so now you not here at this podium. So there are very real, I think, connections, humanity things where we have all been betrayed. We have all fallen short of what we thought our best selves were. We have all lied. We have all struggled to tell the truth in a moment where we knew we needed to or we owed someone the truth. None of us are exempt from being human. And so I am the judge, but there are levels that I judge on and then levels that I don't.
Because the other side of that, when you find out somebody's not your dad, the person who thought he was your dad is about to find out that, according to these results, and you're not my blood father.
And that's one of the things I love most because, paternity court and even on We the People, we've had several cases where you could tell the fathers wanted to be the father. We are able to show men that really want to be fathers. Yes. Not that you are not the father and everybody shucking and jiving. No, we ain't doing all that. That's why I always say I'm running a courtroom, not a circus. We ain't clowning because this is serious. And there's going to be someone here that's getting a truth that they didn't know they were coming for. And so I'm very proud of the work that I've done because we're able to show fathers who step up and they're the ones that file the petition. I want to know. There are fathers that are devastated. I mean, that's some of the shows that have gone most viral.
Yes,
are the ones when the fathers are just horrified or the ones where they say, I'm going to still be in your life. That's beautiful. That's the beauty of being a father. And so that's what we try to do each and every day is to show the beauty of being a father and recognize that there are great fathers out there.
And for Paternity Matters, for your YouTube show, are you going to be doing follow-ups?
You know what? This is so crazy. Now see, you called it. We were just talking about that. And we were just saying, you know what? I want to make sure in season 2, we are following up with our families and making sure we're keeping people abreast because people fall in love with our families. I was just posted today a throwback Thursday of Paternity Court with Sanchez Gower. Now, he was the young man. Actually, his show was the show we won the Emmy with. Mm-hmm. And he spoke so beautifully about growing up without a father and what that meant. And somebody tagged him in my comments. And I was like, yes, I find, because sometimes you lose contact.
Right.
There are so many people that maybe their numbers change and you can't find them anymore. So we will do follow-ups and we will stay on this journey together because I want to know once we get this truth, what are you going to do with it?
Now, I want to ask you on the business side of things, having your own show now, right? As far as it's very different from being on a network.
Very different.
So talk to me about that because things are definitely changing. I did a story the other day about how the ratings are down so much when it comes to viewership. And it's like at the lowest that it's ever been, but it feels like people are consuming in a different way right now.
Right. Well, I owe this to my now 13-year-old son who basically said to me when I would say, oh gosh, everybody wants me to do more paternity. And I do paternity on We the People, but We the People I also do a variety of other legal cases. And my son was just like, Mommy, you should just do it on YouTube. That's all we watch is YouTube. I watch it on YouTube.
That's a fact.
And I was like, you know what? He goes, that's what we're
it's
watching.
It's the app on the TV. You go
yes.
on the TV, all the YouTubes pop
yes.
up.
And he was like, and you're all over TikTok. He used to say all the time, like, Mom, all my friends are texting me. You're all over TikTok. I didn't even know.
Right.
And then I go on and I'm like, you know what? People are consuming content in a different way than they used to. And we have to be able to meet them where they are, right? Literally and figuratively. So that's when we got that idea to say, let's bring Paternity Matters to the YouTube channel. Like you said, own it. Everything out of pocket. It ain't no joke, honey. I mean, I'm dealing with things now, just trying to pull episodes together and make sure we're telling the story right. And it is a labor of love,
right.
but it is a labor indeed. It is like birthing a new creation, and it's not easy. But it's so worthwhile.
It's so rewarding when it's your own thing. And you're like, listen, if it goes great, that's on me. If it doesn't, that's on me too.
I just said that today. I just had to take accountability for something. I was like, that's on me. Look, and that's the beauty of ownership, though. And after 20-something years in this industry, I'm very proud that I do now have, I'm proud of all the work that I do, but this little slice is what I own and a part of the legacy that I will leave behind, that I truly was passionate and purposeful about helping families reconnect, reconcile, and resolve issues of paternity. It's something I just love to do. It never gets old to see someone get to know and to realize who their real father is. Everyone wants to know.
And one thing that you've said before, it does cost a lot of money when people have to go to court.
Oh, yeah.
And hire lawyers and try to resolve issues.
I tell people, that's what we do. That's why I'm always in a couch. One episode, we in a restaurant. Listen, y'all better learn how to resolve these issues in the living room or the family room and avoid the courtroom. Because you get up in that courtroom, it is expensive. And that's the reason why, some people will be like, well, why they ain't never get no paternity tests up until now? I said, well, okay, well, if they didn't go through the court, if it wasn't court ordered or mandated, you got to pay for that. And it's not just the little tests you order. The lab as well costs money to get the results. So people don't often have the expendable income to be spending on paternity tests. And look, when you're trying to avoid a truth or when you got something you got a little shame about, it's easy to keep pushing that aside like, I'm going to do that next month. Right. So we are able to provide that service and work with great laboratories that help us get results for families. And I'm very blessed to have great partners.
Well, listen, Lauren, I love everything that you're doing. Did we miss, is there anything else that we want to make sure that we touch on?
No, just watch Paternity Matters.
I don't know if there's a new book coming or...
I'm going to be doing a new book. I'm going to be doing a new book. Can we say Charles? No.
I knew it.
No. I don't think I've even talked to him about that yet, but I'm gonna. But
and
no.
Trust me, he's going to talk to you. Charles, by the way, did Nia Long's book, Stephen A. Smith, Pinky Cole, Slutty Vegan.
So amazing. But just right now, the thing is We the People is back on.
Yes.
Going to be coming back on for season 2. Please tune into that. Of course, Paternity Court is limitless. I never get tired of people watching and sharing that. But Paternity Matters airs on YouTube at Judge Lauren Lake TV. That is my YouTube channel. I'd love for you to tune into that. Catch up with episodes 1 through 4 because episode 5 is going to be the results and it's coming soon.
All right. Well, listen, guys, we are on the edge of our seats trying to watch this. But what I love, again, Lauren Lake really cares and she talks that talk and walks that walk in real life. I've witnessed it myself personally. So I appreciate you for coming up here.
So glad to
praying
be here.
I never have to be on Paternity Matters for any reason, but
No.
But I'm send some people your way.
Thank you.
Because I get a lot of calls up here.
Please do.
And I'm dead serious. I've had
Tell
a
them to
lot
call
of
me.
people call up here.
818-850-6568. You can text me.
Okay. I trust her, guys. It's William Angela Yee, Judge Lauren Lake.
Thank you.